Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga senior citizens at SSS pensioners. Ating talakayin sa bidyong ito ang bagong anunsyo ng SSS sa mga miyembro nito. Kaya naman siguraduhin tapusin ang video na ito at huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe para updated kayo sa mga susunod na video.
One of the major objectives, of course, why we're doing this is we want to secure our workers, every Filipino worker, and we're able to do this when we provide financial security for them. And we are now able to do this through three-layered program. No? Two-layer po yung Social Security scheme, but now we have 3 programs to provide those Social Security protection for our members. So at the base, we have the regular SSS program. It serves as a social insurance, as the basic safety net for all members. And we have the mandatory WISP, the Provident Fund, and this is specifically for members who are contributing more than the monthly salary credit of 20,000 pesos. And we're introducing the WISP Plus, the Provident Fund, as additional protection of all members, depending on the capacity to save. So we're introducing the 3rd layer because they're saying, yung sa WISP, kahit mandatory yan, may mga members tayo na gusto pang maghulog. So ito po ang pagkakataon na even for those who are already WISP members, if they want to contribute more, they can do so under this WISP Plus program. At para naman din po sa mga miyembro na wala po sa excess na 20,000 MSC ang kanilang pinaghulog, they're also given the opportunity to build as well their fund, no, for primarily for their retirement pension. Okay, next slide please. So now, this is the Workers' Investment and Savings Program, WISP Plus. Next slide please. Who are eligible to join? So the SSS registrants, the new enrollees who are applying for SS number, regardless of their declaration of monthly earnings, are eligible to join. And of course, our existing SSS members with at least 1 SSS contribution and regardless also of monthly salary credit. Right now, our monthly salary credit po ay nasa 3,000 minimum. Ang maximum mo is 20,000. So the WISP Plus is open to all members paying across all MSCs. At wala akong final benefit claim, pwede hong mag-membro sa ating WISP Plus. So next slide, how do I enroll? So this is through online po, ngayon, through our my.sss portal. For the registrants, yung pahong wala pang SS number, they will have to indicate their interest in joining and enrolling the program through the SS number issuance application through the SSS website when they apply for the SSS number. And for existing members, they are able to do this through the my.sss portal under the services menu. And once they encode all the details, they have to accept the terms and conditions for the program. Next slide, please. So question, what is my required contribution? So this is any amount, just a minimum pesos of 500 pesos per payment. So wala ho tayong maximum, but we're leaving it up to each payment channel because we understand that our payment partners, our accredited payment collection partners, have their own rules in terms of maximum amount and manner of payment, if it's check or cash or even GCash for some probably, and also the daily limits. So yun lang pong minimum ang sinet ho namin, 500 pesos per payment. And anytime po yan, pwedeng pagbayaran. Gamit lang po ang ating payment reference number. Mga miyembro naman ho natin ngayon sanay ho dyan kumuha ng payment reference number. And payment is anytime provided that for employed members, yun hong, for our employed members, it is actually their employers who are paying for the regular program. But for the WISP Plus, if they are interested and they want to contribute, then at least 1 posted contribution in the last 3 months is our requirement. For the individually paying members, the self-employed, voluntary, and OFW members, with posted contribution for month of payment. Sabihin po, pag ngayong December, kung gusto kong ngayon magbayad, dapat po meron ho siyang hulog sa regular SSS contribution niya dito sa month ng December, pwede ho niyang isabay ang kanyang paghulog sa WISP Plus. Next slide, please. Another question that we will be asked now, where will my fund be invested sa WISP Plus? So the capital preservation po is the priority of the fund. So hindi ho madidissipate. That's a priority of in terms of our investment principles for our WISP Plus. And we also indicated here for transparency, and it's also indicated in our circular for this launch of the guidelines for our WISP Plus, the investment mix and limits for investing our WISP Plus fund. Of course, the principal here, as enshrined as well in the SSS law, is that we will invest and manage the fund with the principles of safety, high yield, and liquidity. The income earned through the investment activities for this fund will be distributed to each of the member of the fund based on the total accumulated account value. So that we will proportionately distribute this to be credited based on the year-end financial statement. Next slide, please. Ito po. When can I make withdrawals? We usually get this question din po no, whenever we have a voluntary provident fund. Kasi if you will recall, for our mandatory WISP program, yun po, wala po kasi yung withdrawal feature. So we made sure for this voluntary program, because of the purpose intended for this program, we allow now withdrawals, so even early withdrawals. It's anytime, provided that the member at least po naman nagkaroon ng 1-year membership. 1-year membership naman po ang nire-require lang mo natin before ho sana mag-withdrawal. And we will allow either partial or full withdrawal. For the partial withdrawal, it shall be allowed once a month only. And with remaining balance not lower than 500 pesos. So pwede ho yung i-partial withdrawal pero mag-iwan lang ho kahit 500 pesos. Because if you note, that's also our minimum amount of contribution po. No? So parang inaano lang ho natin, sineset lang ho natin na at least 500 pesos po may maiwan if our member has urgent cash needs and needs to withdraw partially. But there's also, of course, an option to have a full withdrawal. At pag full withdrawal ho yan, it's, the effect is terminating the membership in WISP Plus, such that if the member wants to build up the WISP Plus account again, then he or she will have to re-enroll in the program. Ang kagandahan din ho sa aming withdrawal features for our WISP Plus, inaalaw ho din natin na mag-withdraw kahit less than 5 years ang membership, but with adjusted earnings. 60% of earnings if less than 2 years, but more than 1 year as one of the requirements. 70% of earnings if less than 3 years, but at least 2 years. 80% of earnings if 3 to less than 4 years of membership. And 90% of earnings if more, at least 4 years already member, but less than 5 years. Pag ho nag 5 years na, 100% na ho entitled ang ating member sa WISP Plus to the full earnings already credited to the account.